Good morning, Your Majesties. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. I have another scary story for you guys. This one is called the Phantom Taxi. Of course, someone's always getting into something they shouldn't be. But you know what? I love reading these stories to you guys, so it's fine. So, the Phantom Taxi. In a bustling city where life moves at a frantic pace, urban legends circulate like wildfire. One of the most chilling tales of the Phantom Taxi, a cab that appears out of nowhere, its driver an eerie figure who offers rides to lost souls. Once inside, passengers are never seen again. Oh lordy. Vanishing without a trace, the legend is mostly dismissed as a ghost story, a cautionary tale to avoid hailing cabs late at night. But some swear it's true. Okay. Ryan, a skeptical journalist, has heard the story countless times, but he's never believed it. He's the kind of person who needs hard evidence, not ghost stories. But one late night after working a grueling shift, he finds himself stranded in the rain with no ride home. As he stands on the curb, soaked to the bone, a taxi pulls up beside him. The taxi is old, its yellow paint faded and peeled. The taxi is old, its yellow faded and peeling, but it looks serviceable enough. Ryan hesitates for a moment, as he should, remembering the stories, but shakes it off as nonsense. Really, Ryan? Really? He opens the door and slides into the back seat, mumbling his address to the driver. The driver nods without a word and pulls away from the curb. The interior of the cab is dark and musty. The only light coming from the dim flickering dashboard. Ryan leans back exhausted. As the cities blur past the rain street windows, something feels off, but he can't quite place it. As they drive, Ryan notices that the route is unfamiliar. The streets are deserted, the buildings old and crumbling, as they've driven into a forgotten part of the city. He sits up, his unease growing, and asks the driver if they're going the right way. The driver doesn't respond, just keeps driving, his hands gripping the wheel tightly. Ryan leans forward, trying to get a better look at the driver's face, but it's hidden in the shadows, obscured by the brim of a dark cab. The unease turns to fear as Ryan realizes the driver is taking him farther from civilization. The city lights disappearing behind them, he pulls out his phone to call for help, but there's no signal. The cab continues down the empty streets. The engine's low rumble. The only sound in the oppressive silence. Panic sets in as Ryan demands the driver to stop the car. Panic sets in as Ryan demands the driver stop the car, but the driver ignores him. The cab speeding up as they enter a dark tunnel. The lights inside the tunnel flicker, ominously, casting eerie shadows across the back seat. Ryan's heart races as he tries to open the door, but it's locked tight, the handle refusing to budge. The tunnel seems to stretch on forever, the end nowhere in sight. The air grows colder and Ryan's breath fogs up the windows. He pounds on the glass, shouting for help, but the sound is swallowed by the darkness. Suddenly, the taxi comes to a searching halt, throwing Ryan forward in his seat. The driver turns slowly, finally revealing his face. A pale, gaunt visage with hollow eyes that seem to glow in the dim light. The driver's lips curl into a twisted smile, and Ryan feels a chill run down his spine. Jeez. The driver speaks in a voice that seems to echo through the cab, low and raspy. "This is your stop," he says, his eyes locking onto Ryan's. The door unlocks with a click, and Ryan feels an invisible force pushing him out of the cab. Oh my gosh. What? What? That is so scary. Oh my gosh. Ryan stumbles out of the taxi, finding himself standing in the middle of a desolate street. Desolate street. The cab speeds away, its taillights fading into the distance. Disoriented, Ryan looks around and he realizes he's standing in front of an old abandoned building with broken windows and crumbling facade. Confused and terrified, Ryan approaches the building, drawn by a strong compulsion. The door creaks open as he steps inside, revealing a dark, empty lobby. The air is thick with dust, and the smell of decay hangs heavy in the air. As Ryan explores, the building finds a series of old photographs hanging on the walls, each one depicting different people, men and women, all dressed in outdated clothing. At first, they seem like ordinary portraits, but as he looks closer, he realizes that the people in the photos all have the same hollow eyes as the driver. Oh, come on. Ryan's heart sinks as he spots the final photograph at the end of the hallway, hanging slightly as new. The frame is old, the glass is cracked, and the picture within is faded, but the image is unmistakable. It's a picture of him sitting in the back of the taxi, his face frozen in an expression of pure terror. The driver is visible in the front car seat, his eyes staring back at Ryan through the rearview mirror, the same sinister grin stretching across his face. He stumbles backward, the weight of the realization crashing down on him. This wasn't just a strange, eerie ride. This was something far more sinister, something inescapable. The photographs, the grinning driver, the unmarked taxi, all pieces of a puzzle he never wanted to solve. Ryan's breath quickens as he spins around, desperate to escape, but the hallway seems to stretch on endlessly. The walls close in the air, thick with the scent of gasoline and decay. The shadows flicker, shifting and merging into a dark figure at the far end of the hall. It's the driver, standing there with an eerie grin, his eyes glinting in the dim light. The driver raises his hand, pointing directly at Ryan. The air grows colder, the whispers return louder now, echoing off the walls, telling him that it's too late, that he belongs to the taxi now. The lights flicker and the hallway seems to twist and warp around him. The photographs on the walls blur and change, showing not just him, but countless other passengers, each one trapped in the same moment of terror, their faces etched with the same realization that their fate was sealed the moment they stepped into that taxi. Holy moly. Ryan feels a cold hand on his shoulder and he rolls around, but there's no one there. What do you mean there's no one there? Jeez. The driver's laughter echoes through the hall, growing louder and more maniacal. He tries to run, but his feet won't move, rooted to the spot as if the house itself is holding him in place. The shadows close in the hallway, growing darker and darker until he's completely enveloped in blackness. The last thing Ryan sees is the flash of headlights, the sound of the taxi's engine roaring to life as it comes barreling down the hallway for him. He tries to scream, but no sound comes out. His voice stolen by the darkness. There's a blinding flash and then silence. The next morning, the house is quiet, the hallway empty, the photographs hang still on the walls, each one depicting in a different passenger a different story. And at the very end, a new photograph has appeared. Ryan sitting in the back of the taxi, his face twisted in terror. Oh my God. The driver's grin reflected in the rearview mirror. The house remains as it always has. The house remains as it always has, a silent witness to the countless souls who have fallen victim to the cursed taxi. Their faces forever trapped in the photographs, their stories lost into the darkness. And somewhere in the city streets, the taxi continues to drive, searching for its next passenger. Whoa, that is so freaking creepy. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think of this story? I think it's creepy as heck. And do you guys like my makeup? I did my makeup. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Princess Peyton. Hit the red button to become your majesty. And hit the bell notifications so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I love you guys so much. You guys are the best human beings ever made. And you're the king of my heart and the song lyrics of Taylor Swift. And I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, love you. Bye. Mwah.